You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Giorgi.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Graceland After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Graceland After Show.
Yes, you heard that. You know what time it is. You know why you're tuning in. You are here for the AFTERBUZZ TV After Show for USA's Graceland. This is Season 2, Episode 8, The Ends. We're going to be breaking it down for you tonight. I am your host, Stephen Lemieux, joined here tonight by the one and only, the beautiful, the amazing, the I cannot do a thing without her. And I'm going to just keep going on, Stephanie Giorgi.
Thank you so much. Hey, y'all.
Good to have you here with me, Stephanie. Just a shout out, I will not be here next week. I'm going to try to call in, but I will be in the state of North Carolina.
And I will do my best to do it the way Steven does for all of you viewers.
All right, so let's fade this music out and let's kind of dig into the episode.
All right, sounds good.
Dubstep is killing it, but okay, before we start this, guys. Okay, actually, I will say that the episode was really good. I enjoyed the episode.
It was.
Before we start this, guys, we have not gotten enough iTunes ratings. And I'm looking at you viewers. I'm looking at you listeners. You guys need to go on iTunes,
Please.
Rate and subscribe, and leave us a comment. Because if you don't leave a comment, I mean, how are we going to shout you out? I can't shout out nameless anonymous person number 7 gave us 5 stars.
But shout outs to everyone who already did. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, shout out to everyone on YouTube as well. I might run through those in a little bit on my computer, but seriously, guys, go to iTunes, rate and subscribe. It keeps us searchable, keeps us at the top, and we like being at the top. We're like Mike. We want to make it to the top. All right, guys, so let's break into this episode. This is Season 2, Episode 8, The Ends. And, you know, I really enjoyed this episode. It was really easy.
It was like a catch-up.
It was a little bit of a catch-up, and it really just kind of set the grounds for what we're going to be expecting for the end of this, for the final episodes of the season. I cannot believe we're on Episode 8 already.
I know, already.
Like, we have 5 episodes left. I can hear you.
Okay, good. I just don't in my headphones. Hello, hi, okay.
Hi, Stephanie Giorgi.
Okay,
you with us? You with us? All right. I'm excited for where the season's going. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Mike's character in the final 5 episodes, because he really needs that reality check that's going to kind of bring him back down to earth. This episode made me really hate Paige.
Because she's getting tired.
Well, because she's overstepping bounds that I don't feel like she's allowed to overstep just because she slept with Mike.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because, for instance, when she was like, do it or you're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
That was doing too much, especially because we understand what you had to go through and everything, but the circumstances are, had you had not been in that position to be around the girls,
you wouldn't care as much.
You wouldn't care as much.
I'm sorry, Paige.
I'm so sorry. It's unfortunate, but she shouldn't undermine everyone the way that she is.
I'm filling out an FBI report to send him in right now. It's like, bitch, no, you ain't.
What are you doing?
You ain't doing nothing.
Like, fall back, lady. Calm down.
Like, seriously. All right, so we'll get to that.
I know. So that's how we really feel about Paige
really,
right now.
That's what we're running. That's like running through our minds right now. But right now, we're gonna break down the bank heist storyline. So the bank heist storyline is they're going to try to take the parachute out from under Sid and his people, which we found out his crony number 1 is named Archie.
His what?
His crony, like his little right-hand man.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah, we find out he's named Archie, and I was like...
That's too funny. I was trying to pay attention to that, but I didn't.
I know. I was like going through my notes, and I'm like, okay, finally we have a name for this guy, Archie. They picked like the worst name, the most, I'm not going to say most unlikable name, but for a villain, it's like kind of comical for like, hi guys, I'm Archie, want to go do some drugs? Yeah, so Charlie and Briggs are talking about Billy. Billy is the person that they know who's...
Which apparently, I think they've known each other since high school.
Yeah,
that's what they were saying.
A while.
Right, and apparently Charlie and Briggs have been doing that thing for a while too. He's like, oh good, nothing's changed, blah, blah.
I don't think she was, don't think she was talking about that. I think he was talking about their cover. Remember when Charlie Briggs were together undercover, and they always had that history where they had worked covers.
Something, and now it's finally something.
I think I think it's like something, but the guy was mentioning that. So she's just going to meet with an insider and Billy, like the logistics person. Charlie does not want Briggs working for Sid, she reveals. She's like, look, man, like, this guy, he ain't good for you to be around because because Briggs, he's taking a page from the Briggs' handbook. She can see that.
Right.
And Briggs defends Sid. Briggs is like, Briggs basically defends that, like, look, he does a good job with what he does. He's greater good. And that's
I'm not going to lie. I'll tell you at what part. Well, I mean, you probably already know the part where I started feeling for Sid also. Not feeling for him, but, like, I don't know. Anyways.
I mean, we know a little bit of Sid's backstory, and, you know, I felt like they were going to do this. They introduced him as such a villainous character. Like, they really made him so... Because I didn't know if he was going to stick around or he's just going to be a lackey.
Right. No, but they absolutely did make him like a villain character. He was unlike the moment that we saw him because we accused him for being the person that he was. Yeah.
So they had to put that in your mind, but now they're building his character out into something where you can be kind of connect with him because, again, the first thing he says to Mike last episode was, everything's not black and white.
Right.
And that kind of opens your eyes a little bit. And now this episode is kind of, you realize that Briggs is a character we have cheered for in the first season, even though he was Odin, and
he's like Sid.
He was consistently breaking the law, dealing with the cartel.
That's my point. That's why I think I started feeling a little bit less bad because you see that, and that's why they show us that side of Sid where he's at his home and he's doing everything nice. Everyone has two sides to their story, and that's exactly what I was thinking the whole time because it's not just Briggs; it's all of them in the house.
Well, it's also that Sid's not doing shady crap all the time.
Right.
Like he's doing cop work most of the time.
Exactly. And you see that he's relieved to be out. Even Archie for a second, he's like, cool. Like they're not doing it because they have like this evil plan. They're doing it because it was a job for whatever reason it was. I guess they got paid off and now they're just over it.
Yeah. So
anyways, but to go back, did you?
I gotta say in this scene, I like that Briggs says, "You talking about surfboard? Hail Beyonce, making that a TV now known
right
slang."
When she said wax
for sex.
Wax. That is dope though. Surfboard.
I know, right?
Surfboard.
Like throw it out there.
Grind on that wood, grinding on that wood.
Beyonce out there. Let's just say Beyonce.
Queen Bee, you're everywhere.
She's
You're everywhere.
All right, so they're at a bar. So Charlie goes to a bar to meet with Billy, and he winks at her. They give a high five.
And she meets the genius.
She meets the genius, who's kind of a bitch. Reminds me of Paige from first season.
That's funny. Who is the actress? Why does she look so familiar to me?
Let me check. Amber Graceland.
Amber Graceland.
Season 2. Who is the actress who plays Amber? While
you're looking, I'll talk about how I loved to see Charlie's reaction when she was just listening to Amber because I feel like normally Charlie, especially towards a female, isn't impressed, but Amber dropped all like the words and the tactics to how to do it. And she just literally, I even put in parentheses, she says, wow.
Wow.
Wow. She's the real deal.
Literally, I can find Amber's henchman, but I can't find Amber on here. Sadly. If you guys know, tweet us. You can tweet me at Stephen Lemieux, StephenLemieux. Go ahead and tweet me the actress's name for Amber. I feel terrible because usually I look this up beforehand.
Right.
And I wanted to during the show because I'm like, she's kind of crazy sexy in this episode. Like she knows how to like.
She was cutie.
She knows the facial expressions.
The door. Yes, exactly.
She knows how to work that face. If that makes sense to you guys, I don't know. She knows how to look sexy. All right, so
tweet Steven now if you want. He has his laptop.
So Amber's a complainer. She's complaining about like working with certain people, so it kind of shows a little bit of her character.
Well, I liked that it showed that it didn't faze her. You can see where a person is psychologically with the way that they handle things, the way that, like, for instance, with serial killers, if they show them a body, normally they're not going to flinch. It's nothing that they're not used to seeing. For her, when she was talking about it, she was talking about the things that you wouldn't think. She's like, I told you, man, don't get the Chinese, get the Japanese. That's the better one. And that guy Anderson, he's a dick. Like, she was just so casual and quick.
Yeah. She basically looks at the plan for Charlie's things like nobody will hear them do it on the parking lot, dead sewer line, pop and pull out the door. Amber then talks crap to Charlie. Is like, you only do warehouses, like you don't know this stuff about explosives, about these water chargers. So Charlie calls Briggs, says that he wants to steal her from Billy for her heist. And he says, do what you got to do. So Charlie goes to Billy's place, and Billy's like playing it coy, doesn't want to invite her in. Charlie's like, I want you. And there's a great line here where Amber kind of reveals more character depth, where she's like, if I gave in everyone that flattered me, I'd have a dozen kids in a vaginal echo chamber.
Right?
Damn.
Damn. I mean, she ain't lying, though.
I mean, she hot. I mean, just saying.
I like the spot that she was living in, but what do you think about her not well, I mean, I guess, we see what kind of person Amber is because Billy was in there. That's who her boo thing right now that we weren't really aware of with the first scene.
So the way I interpreted this is, so she's always after a cut. So they discuss it and they want to do 80-20 and then she gets 40%.
She just wants a bigger
couple mil,
portion.
And then she goes back to bed with Billy. I think she's playing Billy.
Well, yes, because she went back to Billy with a hop and a skip in her step.
Yeah. Like she's like,
she was like, I'm gonna get a couple million.
I got Charlie. I'll probably go back to Billy when it's done.
And honestly, fellas, what's better than 2 women bank robbers?
You know, because
That's hot.
I was kind of getting like a vibe of like she might be digging Charlie before she went back to Billy.
No, but they have those like badass alpha woman personalities that's why it could come off that way.
They're gonna meet at Fry's on 5th, and Charlie's like, yeah, they ain't no better place than Fry's, and they meet and they're like,
Rosemary, yeah, that's why they put Rosemary on their fries.
Like, man, the fries suck here, and they're like, yeah, but they have cameras, but the cameras don't work.
Yeah.
All right.
I like
so
that
it's just gonna be the 2 of us. Just the
Somebody
2
give
of
me a
us.
goddamn cheeseburger.
I know, right? She's like, you got to go in there, get me a cheeseburger and everything in the register.
That made me want a cheeseburger
Remember,
so bad.
no cameras. Oh my god, I still want a cheeseburger.
I know.
After
That's why
Graceland,
Steven has popcorn right now. I'm down. Let's do it. That's him eating the popcorn.
So she goes in, tells him to open the register, doesn't shoot anyone, but holds the gun of a guy. Is like, put it down right now. And right as they drive off, right as she says, "Give me a damn cheeseburger," you see the cheeseburger falling as they drive off on the bike, and Charlie's in the back looking kind of
like pissed because she really genuinely robbed the place.
Yeah, she's like, she you could tell it weighed on her morally, where she's kind of like,
she's like, damn it, I'm gonna have to make a report on that or something. I mean, she probably won't, but that's the thing about these undercover agents is that you always see them do all these other jobs or things that they have to do for the sake of their cover, knowing that if they get caught up in something, it'll just be kind of blown over.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It's nuts.
Because at the end of the day, that bar still lost their money.
Yeah.
And a cheeseburger.
So
inventory.
That kind of wraps up where we left off with Charlie and the heist scene, but let's go ahead and get undercover.
Undercover.
With Briggs,
yes.
aka Odin.
AKA
and Sid,
Paul
aka
West.
Sydney.
AKA Sydney.
Yeah, it was weird having the doctor be like, yeah, I'm Sydney's friend. I'm like,
yeah.
Who's Sydney?
This is the part you see with the doctor, though. This is, well, why don't we start from the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Briggs and Sid are talking. They're staking out at a park looking for a guy named Basco Finn. He was paroled.
Short for Tabasco.
Short for Tabasco, you know, because, yeah. No. Yeah. They take him down because he runs as soon as he sees them. And it kind of seems during the scene that like Sid and Briggs are a little bit bonding over it. I mean, we have already seen it a little bit where they're not so... It's not real hostility between Briggs and Sid.
When he follows him or right when he gets up?
What do you mean?
What do you mean the hostility between them?
I don't see hostility.
Oh, I don't... Yeah. Well, I mean, not until he got up and then Sid got suspicious and sends Archie to tail him.
Yeah, but I'm talking about between Briggs and Sid. I don't think Briggs has hostility towards Sid.
I think he's a little questionable, though.
Briggs is a little bit questionable.
No, not Briggs. Sid.
No, yeah.
Oh.
But I'm saying I don't see hostility where Briggs is hostile towards Sid.
Okay.
Which I would expect, but it seems like it's more of a he understands him thing.
Yeah, they're okay because he had a good cover. Well, fortunately, because Kelly Badillo lied for him.
Yeah, so we get this meeting where they're talking about breaking into this house where Basco's the in guy saying like the guns are here. I don't know if we're gonna get this breaching into the house in another episode because we didn't get into this one. And during the meeting, Paul gets a phone call from Kay. We all know it's Kelly.
Kelly Badillo.
Yeah, we all know it is.
Badillo. That's how I heard. That's how Juan said it on the
Badillo.
That's what he said. Juan Badillo.
Badillo. So he leaves to see her because she basically says, "Hey, I'm so sad.
I can't live without Juan.
I can't live without Juan. I'm with him." And he's like, "Where are you?" It's like, "I bought him a headstone because I want to be metaphorical and stuff and die next to his headstone where he should be because I like to be dramatic."
Okay, well,
so
she's sad. Her husband died.
Look, people's husbands die, Kelly. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was kind of a throw to Guardians of the Galaxy if you've seen it, but anyway. Briggs get there. She's on the ground. She's ODing on pills. And she says that her daughter's with her mom, but he's like, let's go to the hospital. He's like, no, because they'll take my daughter away from her. So he brings her to
the
this
little spot.
It's like, I thought it was his old Odin spot, but it's not.
It is.
How would it be his old Odin spot, though?
Because it's his spot. It's his, he has that for, like, shit like that.
But I thought they found his old Odin spot.
No, that's his spot.
Okay, if it is. Okay, I thought it was because I wrote that down, then I was like, no, it's not. Anyway, he's giving her Ipecac, trying to get her to throw up everything. Gets a call from Charlie at the worst time in the world. This was a very Californication moment where everything that can go wrong is going wrong at the moment. Coincidentally, he's getting a call from Charlie. He's on the phone with her, then knocking the door from Sid.
And Kelly starts vomiting.
Exactly. So, Sid, he runs up to Kelly and he's like, look, quick, my name's Paul West. I'm a cop, and I'm from El Paso. That's all you gotta say. She's like, what? And then he goes and opens the door. We find out now that Archie is the name of his cohort. And he's like, I hope you're not mad. I had Archie tag you. It's like, dick.
I know.
So he creates the story that Kelly's his ex, and it's her place, and Sid's just like, yeah, maybe we should call the hospital, so she should get the kids taken away.
Right? She's like, but it...
Briggs is like...
That's the part, you see, that's the part that was a little bit iffy with Sid, because he looked like he was sniffing around, and then obviously checks on her. For a moment, I felt like he was interrogating her, but I guess he was just checking the stability of her mind. And then everything changes as soon as the doctor shows up. Because when he's like, no, you don't have things under control, Briggs, I thought he was going to, like,
that was like the moment where you know that he's like, he counts Briggs as like, okay, he is who he says he is.
Yes, well, but but I'm saying at the moment that he's like, no, you don't have it under control, I thought something bad was going to happen.
So we get
we just got the doctor.
So he quizzes her. That's where they build the suspense a lot, where you're like, what is she going to say? What is she going to say?
That's what I'm saying, because it felt like an interrogation. And then I didn't even hear, because we didn't hear Paul run to her and tell her all of those things, right?
Yeah,
oh, we did.
We did.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that.
While she was throwing up.
Oh, thank God that she said West.
No, she wouldn't have known to. That's why she's suspicious of Paul, is because...
Right. And which, this is so sad. This is the part, I think, of the episode that was
she realizes he's more than...
Because of what happens. Just the way that she asks. And she's like, I know you've seen him. I can tell by that.
No, this is later in the episode. That's later
I know. But I'm saying, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
So Archie talks to Sid. This is where we kind of get a crossover from the Johnny storyline where he sees that Lucia is wanted for the triple homicide. And this is where we find out that Sid is like, okay, time to get our parachute.
Yep.
They're going to go get their parachute. So Mike doesn't have that... Charlie doesn't have that much time right now. So we're probably going to get it next episode where they actually pull off the heist.
Sure.
Because, I mean, they don't have time. If Sid and Archie are going to pull out now...
Especially because the Lucia and Johnny are already heading down, so it's like escape time. I mean, like, they had to put that out there because that was her motive. So
next thing we get with Kelly is it's Briggs. The doctor shows up. And then the next thing we see is Briggs with Sid. He asks for a second. He says it'll never happen again. Sid says his wife was caught up with some people, so that kind of gives us a little bit more with Sid. And he's like, I'm not going to tell you what.
Yes.
So I feel like...
But it seems like it's a Juan Badillo situation.
Kind of.
Because he said wasn't Mother of the Year. And unfortunately, I feel like when he said that, he means she does everything and then it becomes too much. Do you know what I'm saying? When she wasn't Mother of the Year for a while.
When Mother of the Year got too much for her.
You know what I'm saying?
She probably got into drugs too.
In the drugs, but because of her husband being a cop and then everything else that she has to go through. So it's just like, it's unfortunate how a lot of times you'll see this in families and just the dynamic of women being dramatic and weak. I mean, not weak. I'm sorry. They're strong, but it's unfortunate that they're doing all of this to hurt themselves and to be like. Rah.
So then the final scene with Briggs and Kelly. This is okay. Everything's been leading up to this.
Yes.
Because
I was gonna say you're right. You brought it up. Well, you said the tape, but still, this is close.
Oh, they're gonna bring back.
Damn close. Yeah.
So everything's been leading up by Charlie wanting to be involved with Kelly, by Charlie convincing Briggs to help with the money thing, Briggs going undercover with Kelly to get an Alcoholics Anonymous and get closer to her. I mean, he's built a relationship with this woman more than any undercover cop would in a cover.
And he cared.
Yeah.
Hard.
like she's gonna find out that they got him the money. She's gonna find out that he's somehow involved because she's gonna find out what department he's in, know that he's not in the same department as Juan. She's gonna find out that Juan was tailing Briggs. If she looks through all Juan's old stuff, she'll probably see pictures of Briggs and see like connection to Jangles or connection to Odin or something like that. So the scene kind of goes off where he tells her he's a cop. She asks if he was on the case that got him killed. He confirms that he's dead. Like he's like doing the non-answer but answer thing, and she asks what happened. He says, "I'm sorry," and she slaps him.
Yeah.
And he's bleeding, and she tells him to get out. And I'm just like, oh my God, she's gonna be the one to start looking for
everything
connected to
business. It just kind of pisses me off because at the end of the day, if Juan Badillo didn't act like he was Jangles, he wouldn't have been killed. I mean, Briggs was drunk, and so that shit went down anyways. But excuse me, ish.
If Briggs was an Odin, Juan Badillo wouldn't have been killed, though. You can trace it back.
You could. It still starts and begins. It ends and begins with. It starts and begins with
Briggs.
It starts and ends with Briggs. There
Starts and begins.
Whatever. You know what I was trying to say.
I get it.
No, but I love Briggs. This is starting to. How is he supposed to get out of this?
I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. I really have been thinking that would be the end of this season. To start next season off with like that. Because like the whole season I've been saying is that it would be
the
too much.
The tape has to come up.
Yeah, but it would be too much to do the tape and to do everything else we've been doing.
Right.
With Solano and everything. So I feel like unless we wrap Solano in the next 2 episodes,
Actually,
and then
they did it perfectly. This case leads it right back into
Graceland.
Yeah, well, no, but the case leads right back into the tape with Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. She's going to want to know where the tape is. She's going to want to know everything related to the cases that he was working when he died. She's going to find out about Briggs. She's going to find out that he was investigating Briggs.
That was too sad. What happened to my Juan?
What happened to my Juan? Juan Badillo.
Badillo.
My Jangles.
My husband.
My own personal Jangles. So let's go ahead and talk about the girls. Girls. They're being sold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Paige wants Mike to shut Sulla down. She's like a broken record at this point. Like literally every single time we see Paige, she's like, those girls.
I know.
It's like, I understand, but she's being so unprofessional right now, and I don't respect her as a cop at this point.
Right.
Like I've lost all respect for her as an agent in Graceland at this point. Because look, they all go through tough stuff, but they all do it.
But they're also trained for this.
Yeah.
I mean, not that they went through military training, but a lot of them usually were in the military first or something like that. But regardless, the training that you go through, they have to break you down to rebuild your mindset. They break you down so that you can start handling things because they have to almost, I don't want to say raise you again, but practically raise you again so that you can go through things like this. You need to be professional. You need to be above that. You know?
She reminds me
you can't be acting like an effing civilian at this point.
She reminds me of the person who goes on a diet and then makes sure that she knows everyone around her is on that diet. And is like, you should be on it too. And then judges people for it. Like, that's, like, she reminds me of an activist the kind of activist everyone hates. Because it's
they're
like,
not doing it the right way. You're like, yeah, but you can't attack people. You're supposed to, like, give awareness, tell them about what you're doing, and then let it on them. But she's just like, no, this, and this, and I know more. And it's just like,
exactly. It's
what do you
super annoying.
It is super annoying.
So she wants him to buy. She wants him to buy them. She's already done the math. It's gonna be $1.5 million to buy all the girls in the place because that's not gonna be suspicious at all. That one random white guy that bought one girl is gonna go buy 15 other girls. Like, Paige,
Yeah.
get your head out of your ass, girl. So she's like, she threatens him too. She's like, you're gonna hurt if you don't do it. So Mike has a meeting with Sulla, and they meet at a care facility.
Yeah. Well, real quick before that, also it pissed me off. She's like, Mike, upstairs now.
Oh yeah, like what the hell is that?
Don't be rude. She's just getting disrespectful too. That's the thing. That's what's annoying me because I would be like, look, I feel for you, but now you're disrespecting me. Learn how to speak to me before you want to like try to have any type of feelings.
Mike's being a dick. Granted, he's being a dick, but he has the right. His head's in the right place for how the case should go and how he can shut down the Solano, so this doesn't happen again.
Right.
But like,
and
you can't
she was not supposed to be there in the first place.
Yeah, and if he wasn't, because that was her call to get involved that far. And let's just say if Mike had not slept with her, she would have no way of talking to him that way. She would have no
She's too close for comfort now.
She feels like she owns him because she slept with him, and it's like, bitch, no. I'm sorry, Paige. Like, go back to old Paige because we don't like this new one. Like,
Yeah. I mean, we feel you. We see where you're coming from, but
sorry, boo. All right. So, I mean, she should realize, like, and then when she says, oh, I'll say it later. All right. So, Mike's meeting with Sulla at a care facility, and Sulla introduces Mike to, and we're all thinking, thinking that it's going to be the guy that Paige beat the crap out of.
Oh no, I thought it was gonna be like one of the hurt like girls to be like, this is what's gonna. I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't think it was gonna be that guy.
I thought it was him trying to trap Mike. Like, this is what happened to the last person that brought a girl out of our place.
Oh yes,
that's
so
what I thought was gonna happen.
Right. Okay.
But he reveals
not the one that Paige beat up. I thought it was gonna be maybe like a buyer that messed up.
Oh, maybe. I thought it was going to be the one Paige beat up, but they arrested him, obviously, so I don't see how it would have been. So she pulls back the curtain, or he pulls back the curtain. There's a man in the bed, and he says that it's his brother, who's a
vegetable.
Vegetable because Carlito beat him within the edge of his life with the butt of an antique rifle or pistol. Sounds like
fun.
Carlito.
This is the outcome of my disobedience, he says. And then he's like, so because you didn't listen, he did it? He's like, no, he didn't. My boss did that for fun. Which just kind of just goes to show you like the mentality of
Carlito. He's insane.
or Carlos, the head guy. Oh no,
Carlito.
It was Carlito who did it.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the head salon.
No, it's Carlito.
¿Qué tal?
Because Carlito's a crazy one, and you know he has a thing for antique pistols. That's how you know.
Right.
And it also ties back to the scene with Johnny in the past where he's just for fun he shot that guy in the neck.
Yeah.
He's insane. So like he's basically showing Mike like, look, this guy doesn't want me to sell the girls, and this is what he does to my brother for fun. I don't really want to sell the girls.
So I'm not going to. There's just no, I will not.
Like, this is my answer. No. Yeah. So here's where we get Paige and Jake's talking, because what their plan was to set up tunnels. A different method of getting the drugs from A to B. Right? Because the bus depot's kaput. They're trying to sell Carlito a different method. They wanted
to reestablish the method, and so they offered the tunnels to traffic everything.
They want to offer the tunnels. Right. But Paige and Jake's talk, and
Paige is not about it.
She's like, we can't use tunnels. They can fit girls through tunnels. Oh my God, they can fit girls through tunnels. It's like, Paige, the end game here is to shut them all down. Yeah. Like, if anything, you should offer them tunnels, because they can still do the girls, so it's more appealing to them, so they want to do the tunnels, so it ends up quicker that they want to do the deal, and then you can bust them all, and it's done. They're not, these are hypothetical tunnels. This is a hypothetical route.
Yeah.
Paige, what the, like, I want to curse because you're just being so goddamn stupid.
Yeah.
It's a hypothetical route. They need to prove that it works, but like, come on.
I mean, for those who aren't watching, y'all need to see Steven's face.
I'm just baffled. It's like,
no, I agree.
Don't cause yourself needless trouble, because literally making Jake's look for a freaking plane.
Yeah,
like,
but that's what they decide on.
That could delay you further, and then you know what? You know what you're not thinking of, Paige? The other 100 warehouses where they have girls set up that are still being sold because they're not in that place. But
you're trying to protect Lena.
Yeah. It's like...
Oh, but that's sad. She does have a personal thing with her, but still.
I know, but like, it baffles me. Anyway, so she says that the girls can go through tunnels, so he suggests cargo planes. She says tunnels are out. You tell Mike. And I'm just like, bitch, it's not your call.
Right?
It's not your call. It's not your call to change the method halfway through.
I'm surprised. I mean, I know Jake's is cool with Paige. They've always had a good relationship, but he had just like, okay.
Well, Jake's owes Paige.
Yeah, I know.
He feels indebted to her because he's the one who put her in that position.
It's just funny. She's like, yep, just tell him. And what?
So Mike meets with Sulla. Wait. No, sorry. Mike meets with Paige. He says there was no sale. They won't sell the girls. And he's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm sending the FBI to go take them down right now. I got audio of Lena being beaten today.
How do you know it was Lena? It all was. But still.
I love how Mike is just like, how do you know it's Lena?
Yeah.
And she's like, I know. It's like, girl, we don't feel sorry for you. We feel sorry for Lena.
Yeah.
But like, for you, it's like, you're not doing anything to help this case along. Really, everything you do is a roadblock between those girls actually getting out and taking down the entire ring of girls coming from Europe to be sold as sex slaves.
She's so frustrating.
It's super frustrating. And so she keeps saying no, and I'm just like, dude, Paige, it's not your call. So Mike meets with Sulla trying to get the girls. He got the money requisition, $1.5 million to buy all the girls. he wants to bring them $250,000 to wet his tongue, and basically as a layaway thing, he gets...
That was so funny. I'm so happy you brought up Kmart because it's the first thing I thought of. I was like, layaway what? This ain't Kmart.
This ain't pay now, or this ain't pay later on PayPal. So he has $250,000 to take the girls out of there, and then he gets the rest once he'll accepts it.
Yeah, blue light special.
Solo says no. Mike puts the money away. Mike says he needs them healthy, and Solo's like, well, you can check them out.
Yeah.
Just pick a room. We got plenty of them.
I know. That's disgusting.
Creepy face.
I know, but I meant that's just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean...
If they were checking them the way... Oh, yeah. I don't want to think about it. That's horrible.
So, that's kind of where we leave off with that. Now we are on the most complicated thing of the episode, emotion-wise. Johnny's Trouble. Catching the Solanos. A book by Johnny.
We haven't said that. We haven't talked about him. Oh, he wasn't until Mad Later. You're right.
Who? Johnny?
Johnny and Lucia.
Oh, he wasn't through that the entire episode.
Yeah.
But like this whole storyline has been crazy.
That shower scene was hot, but it is cracking me up.
You'd be wishing you were Lucy in that, don't lie.
I know. It was funny to me that Johnny... I mean, actually, I get how it could happen, but you can tell the state of where someone was at with how quickly they fall into attachments with with the opposite sex. You know, because that happened in a matter of in a day of hours. I mean, I know that. Well, I guess they've had their little run-ins, and from the beginning, it's been.
And she did grab his penis before, so you know that is like one thing.
Yeah.
He's like, whoa, I gotta marry this girl. She grabbed my junk.
You know.
No, but
it was just the shower scene was very intimate.
It was
very intimate.
The scene on Leanne last episode was very intimate.
It was, but this is them butt naked. That time he was just laying, she was just like kissing, and that was it. Now they're like underwater, you know.
Now it's like
her baby and babe.
She's his boo thing. So we get
talking about going to an island together.
So let's see here.
OMG. Stage 5 clinger.
Lucia.
Kidding, Johnny.
Johnny,
not even Lucia. Johnny.
So we get Jakes and Mike talking about shutting down the Solanos. They want to sell the new distribution route, which we talked earlier about, and they want Johnny to talk to Lucia into having her introduce the route. This is after the shower scene where they talk about how her dad wants her to go to Mexico, and you know, they're in a strategically sandblasted shower doors where it's like blur here, but a little bit of the middle.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, because my father will.
Which I was happy to see, because this is going back to my point last week. You're like, it doesn't matter if she's in it. No, she doesn't care, because it's all it is death and blood with him. I'm done.
And it's also showing how terrible it sucks to be in her position, because everything can be pinned on her easily. Because they'll do anything to get confession out of her for somebody else. So Johnny says she won't go to Mexico. They want him to change her mind. They're like, dude, if anyone's going to change your mind, it's going to be you, because you've gotten awfully close lately. Jakes is the only one who knows the real true story, but everyone else is just like, that's our only in. So Mike needs him to set up Carlos Solano with Johnny having the buy method. So basically, Johnny's going to be the intermediary to sell a method to smuggle the drugs to Carlos Solano in Mexico, and he's only going to get there because he's going to be with Lucia when she goes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Jakes and Johnny are talking.
That's scary, because I could see her, like, I feel like if Solano's who he is, I feel like, okay, here's Lucia. Bah! Dead, Johnny.
Right?
Throw me a popcorn. Slide one over.
Anyway, I know, it gets hungry in here, guys. Especially talking about that.
It gets hungry in here.
Charlie talking about that burger. All right, so...
I'm sorry.
Fail. All right, guys. So Jakes goes and talks to Johnny right after this, and Jakes knows he slept with her. Like, he doesn't even have to ask, and he's like, what, do you think I'm stupid? All right, maybe I'm stupid. Yes, I slept with her. Jakes literally lays it out for him, though. It's like...
Yeah, I know. Jakes is being the big brother. He's
like, dude, you slept with her. You are now connected to a cartel family, and if they go to trial, you are connected as a material witness.
Come on, man. We've all seen The Departed. We know how shit goes down.
He could be one testifying against her and Carlito for them to get put to death.
And then Dunzos.
And Dunzos for Johnny because he's testifying against a cartel. Instead of just being an agent in the case, he is now testifying in court against the cartel, and he's going to have a hit on him.
Exactly, and then the witness protection program, and then you're going to be Ray Liotta in Goodfellas at the end of the movie.
Damn, girl, you're pulling it out of the 90s.
I know.
Anyway, so basically Mike walks in. He's like, oh, did I walk into something? All right, I don't really care about you guys. I'm just going to talk in here because I'm an asshole. By the way, we're just going to add a homicide to her. We're going to book her, put a person of interest as a triple homicide. You know those 3 guys that shot each other to death because they were kind of stupid and the one guy didn't shoot the one guy who actually had his gun in the air first? Okay,
Right.
got it, yeah. So we're going to actually say that she killed those guys, and that'll push her to need to leave the country, and that's your end to make her leave the country. And then we're going to hook you up with passports so you can get in there. And Johnny's like...
And they're going through San Isidro. I like practically grew up over there because I'm from Chula Vista in
Really?
San Diego. Yeah, San Isidro's dope. In fact, the second he said that, it made me hungry because I was thinking of this panaderia that's out there, and it's right off the 5 North, and it's in the shopping center with the Circle K. Whoever's in San Diego, go to that bakery that's over there. It's my friend's bakery.
All right. So we see Lucia. She reads the article about her being wanted for murder. Johnny recommends Mexico, and she calls him a coward. And Johnny says that he can get them across because he knows people. And it's just like such a betrayal right to her face. And
Yeah.
it's like, you're like, damn, Johnny, there ain't no going back from this. She agrees to it. Johnny is out in a car. Jakes drives up, gives him new passports, tells him that the plan's changed and it's going to be a plane. And,
They're going to fly to an island and go to the nude beaches.
I know, that's what she wants to do.
You trying to do that, Steven?
I'm down. You and me, Steffi G. We'll paradise.
We are not legal. That's what Lucia says.
We are not legal.
No, there you go.
So Jakes is picking up the plane. A guy's trying to sell him a helicopter from a Tet offensive. Basically, it's old as hell. So that's kind of what Jakes is doing. Thank you, Paige, for making Jakes have to do that.
Right.
Johnny and Lucia, they get the good passports. And she's like, these are good passports. She's like, why don't we just fly away to Paradiso?
They're real.
Yeah. It's like, let's fly away to Paradiso, you know, get the nude beaches, just drink the way the rest of our life. Because she has money. I think she'd be good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a bit of a commitment there.
I mean,
Fall
hey, you were saying that Johnny's the clinger. Johnny's the one who turns down this.
I know. Well, when I had said the clinger, that's what initially what I was talking about. And then I felt bad for bragging on Lucia.
Oh,
so I just
okay.
had to
So you
put some
switched it.
tension
I
on
get it.
on Johnny.
I think this is the point in the episode where she thinks he's a cop.
Yeah.
I think she suspects he's a cop.
Yeah, she asks him,
She's like, what do you do? Like, who are you?
are you a cop?
But I feel like she was doing it playfully and he didn't realize that she's actually asking because, like, he's got perfect passports.
Yeah.
And that took a day. It takes, like, criminals, it takes them at least a few days to
And
get
you do see that in the background of one of the shots, you see Johnny in a military uniform. So she knows he has that background.
I think this is the point where she knows he's a cop. So she wants to go on an island. He says no.
That's the thing, though. We still don't know if at the end of the day, regardless of there being too much death and blood because of her father, if she would have her father's back or not.
Yeah.
I can't tell because either then she'd be going witness protection program. Does she want that? Does she not want that? Is she like at the end of the day, if she wants to get out of it, she has to know that she has to go against her family.
What's
For it
interesting?
to ever be like successful in that way. If she's not going to just run away because that's her only other plan.
This borderlines on predictions,
Right.
but it's really for the whole season. I hope that if I go back and watch this entire season after having seen the finale, this scene will have more feeling to it because what I hope is going on in her head is that she knows he's a cop. And she knows that if she goes to Mexico,
Well, she officially has the suspicion.
let me just finish what I'm saying because this is going back. Like,
Go.
This is my speculation of this scene. At this point, if she knows he's a cop, and she's worried about bringing him to Mexico because he knows that her father might kill him.
Yeah.
But she also knows that the only way she's going to get out of all this drug family thing is bringing him in and having him be the one to bust her family.
Yeah.
So if she knows he's a cop right now, her decision is not, do I go to Mexico or do I stay here and get put in jail for this?
If she thinks he's a cop, then she should be like, okay, well, I'm not going to go to Mexico. I have to be on my own now.
No, if at this point she thinks he's a cop, her decision is, I can either stay here and deal with the cops or whatever,
Right.
or like whatever and everything, because she doesn't want to be part of her family or whatever. Or she can take Mikey to her father, in which case she knows he's a cop, she knows he could get
Johnny.
killed, and she knows that Johnny could get killed or that she could get killed for bringing a cop into the family. That's what I hope is what's going on right now, but I don't know. Maybe she doesn't know he's a cop. That's just what I was assuming. Finally, we see Jake can't find a plane. He's going to call it a day. Guy says, just got one in. It's perfect. Hooray. Anything else about this episode you want to go over? Let's chat it out.
I took some Steven style notes today.
I really just like flew through this thing.
I know. I'm very impressed. This is normally how I would want the shows to go. But you know what? It was a little easier because there wasn't like very large specifics. Like it was really nice to kind of watch the whole thing. I do want to just mention though how not insignificant, but how much they've developed every other character in the show so far, because his character hasn't developed at all after the couple of scenes with Foster. Just knowing in the position that he is, he's been a dick and that's it.
It's true.
We haven't focused on him at all. We have no feelings towards him. No feels.
We have feels about like your dick,
Everyone
Mike.
else, right? But that's it. But that stayed like that from the beginning, and it hasn't moved. And he hasn't said anything except for telling people what to do. We haven't seen him we haven't seen him in discussion, if you will.
Well, it's also that this is Graceland. It's not the Mike Warren story.
Exactly. Well, no, I'm happy, but I'm surprised about it.
But I'm glad. Yeah.
Me too.
I'm glad that we
Especially-
get to focus on other characters and we don't have to only have the one guy. Because if this show does get 5 seasons or whatever, they might have to kill Mike. They might have to kill Daniel Sanjata. They might,
I know.
which
I'm
is
afraid Briggs. Yeah, I feel like they might have to kill Daniel.
I feel
Or
like
Daniel has to get out, or something. Something bad's gonna happen.
I worry though, because I compare this show to Sons of Anarchy with some of the characters.
Okay.
With Briggs would be the
I've never seen it.
Really? Briggs would be the Ron Perlman of this show.
Okay.
In that he's the one who basically he's one of the only interesting things about the show. And I don't mean that in like a negative way, like the rest of the show isn't interesting.
Right, but
I
he
mean,
does bring something to the table.
I watch the show a lot, mostly just to see the crazy stuff that Briggs does.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No, absolutely.
So like if they were to kill Daniel Sanjata off, it would have to be later, like probably season 3 or season 4.
Right, and they'd have to develop Jake's character the most, because that's, I feel like, the only other person that we'd have a good following for.
Yeah, well, we would
Jake's
just
is
need
good. He's
something.
just like, yeah.
We would just need to be able to count on the other characters to carry it. And at this point, I don't know if they could. If they killed Daniel Sanjata off, I don't know if the writing would be able to loop it around to have a character that sways it so far into the dark, twisted cop phase.
Right.
Because he's the one who pulls it to the dark side a little bit. It'll be interesting to see. I just think they need a lot more of a foundation for the other characters before they start killing
People.
somebody like, well, not even people. I don't mind if they kill somebody. I think just
No, the
if they're
people
gonna
in
kill
Graceland.
if they're gonna kill Aaron Tveit or Daniel Sanjata,
Yeah,
which of course,
no, they're not.
yeah,
Yeah.
not for at least another season. or two.
Anyways, well, may I begin with predictions?
You may. Let's go into
Okay.
predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Briggs is scared. Briggs is scared because he screws something up for Mike, and it's because of the Buddio thing. He's about to get caught up again. So you were right. As far as last episode goes, like this will absolutely come full circle, and either the tape will come out by next episode, or for the finale. Because you see him, he does something. I didn't get to see like what the last interaction was, but he gets all scared and gets involved and switches some stuff up the way that Briggs does to make things, he does something to blow up so that again everything is just, you're looking at what's going on over here. He's creating like a diversion.
The thing I'm worried about is that what Briggs is going to do is Briggs is going to have Sid move his money. Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
Because Mike's going to do the heist, because Mike's going to have Charlie do the heist. And
No, but he wouldn't do that to Charlie. He would do that to
He would do
Charlie.
that to Charlie.
No, Briggs, what are you thinking, my man?
That's the thing, as I think,
No, we'll see. I'm hoping maybe he does.
even if it's not Briggs, the money's not going to be there. It's too much of a setup. It's too much of a setup for that scene where Amber and Charlie are in
Dude, well, I hope
the
Amber
vault.
doesn't try to shoot up Charlie.
No, she won't. But I mean,
That's gonna get some stuff twisted. You're right. You know what?
there's not going to be money in the safety box.
Very well.
There's not going to be a safety
There's
deposit
gonna be a
box.
season 3.
Yeah, but there's not going to be money in the safety deposit box, and the money's going to be either in Sid's hands, but it's probably going to be in Sid's hands because Briggs convinces
How
him
does
to
he
take it
tell
out.
him though? That's
I
gonna
don't think he's going to tell Sid about Mike, unless Briggs tells it as Paul West about Mike, and Briggs as Paul West says he found out that some people were investigating him.
Maybe, unless he.
But it's a bigger in to get Briggs involved in something deeper with Sid.
Right.
So maybe we'll see that. Maybe it's another in for the Solano cartel, because maybe if
Well, Mike is pissed. That's the only reason why I'm wondering what Briggs does. Because anytime Mike gets mad at Briggs, it's because Briggs is covering himself.
but Briggs never shows the full picture.
Right, he doesn't.
It's
I know.
great or good a lot. So I feel like if Briggs screws over Mike in that respect, Briggs is going to be like, I know Mike, but let me tell you, I got an in with Solano. Because Sid and Archie are so connected with the Solano, if there was a chance that Briggs could take that angle, instead of busting Sid and taking away his money, using Sid as the angle to get to Solano.
Possibly.
Oh, man.
Oh man.
Oh, man. Well,
I
guys,
want to say shout out to that person who imitated us perfectly on iTunes when he's like, to the guy who overanalyzes
Oh my-
everything. Because Steven does do that. Which, by the way, let us know what you think, y'all. Seriously, comment on YouTube. We know you have something to commentate about because Ish is getting cray-cray on the show.
let me find the, this was episode 8, right?
Yes,
Okay.
the ends.
Because the unlucky ones, right?
The
was
unlucky
last
one was the last one.
Was it?
No. It was
No, Los
higher.
Manos.
Los Malos was the last one.
Los Malos.
Los Malos.
I'm just looking through our YouTube right now. There we go. All right, guys, I'm going to give shout outs because we have a few minutes. I just didn't want to end the show without actually doing this. We have. That's just for you.
Oh, yeah. That's what they were. I was like, I don't get it.
SM Down H9. Why do you guys only read the comments on iTunes? Why don't you read the ones on YouTube? Are our comments not good enough?
Oh, I remember that one. No, bro, we were just on iTunes. Sorry.
No, bro, your comments are not good enough.
No, don't be mean.
Your comments aren't, but everyone else's are. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm totally kidding.
Shout out to you, dude.
Bruce Leroy 03. Michael Johnson. Oh, that's my computer. It's an ad.
I was like, why did? Oh.
Yeah, it's you and you is me. Pro Prodigy, Halls Ya, and yeah, that's it.
All right, cool.
That was actually me talking. Isn't that weird? Like, this is going to be some Inception right here. My God.
There's me.
And there's Steffi G. Guys,
Anyways.
thank you so much for tuning in. This has been the AfterBuzz TV After Show for Graceland Season 2, Episode 8, The Ends. I've been your host for the evening, Stephen Lemieux. You can find me on Twitter at Stephen Lemieux, StephenLemieux, as well as doing the Strain After Show here at AfterBuzz TV and MasterChef. Always got guests from MasterChef. Also, please go to iTunes, rate and subscribe, and leave us a comment so we can give you more shout-outs on our show. Steffi G, the beautiful, the talented, and the wonderful, and I couldn't live without her. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Stephanie Giorgi, Giorgi, as well as on Vine at Stephanie Giorgi, and on Instagram at SteffiG47. On Mondays, I'll be doing the Fosters at 7. Tune in for that. Love you guys.
Have a good night. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.